So it's summer and you have little ones and you're like, what do I need to do with my kids over the summer? Well, we got the best thing for you. Stay tuned.
It's time for Tip Tuesdays with Dr. Shanna Grant.
All right, so it's summer and you have your kids at home, maybe, or they're not really in full school mode. And so you're trying to figure out, what do I do with my child? I don't want my child to fall behind. Of course, these are little ones that we're talking about. Now, I'll just give you my opinion and what I do. It's been working so far. I have two little ones, one who's turning 4 in a few days, and the other one is 2 at the point that I'm making this video. And so I'm giving you what I do with my kids, and they're quite ahead. So here's what you can do with your kids. So when you're home with your kids, or when we're home, we set a schedule, right? Now, of course, kids are going to be kids, so we might not stick to the extreme schedule, but it's very good to stick as close as possible to the schedule that you're going to make so that your kids, they live off routine. So if you can stick to the routine, they know that as soon as X time comes that this is what they're doing, you want to make sure you build a routine. Now, however you want to build your routine is totally up to you and your child, right? So if you're an early riser, you'll start your routine early. If you're not, you'll start your routine whenever you wake up. But you want to make sure you get a routine together and then you stick to the routine of whatever it is you want to accomplish over the summer. Now, it doesn't have to be heavy lifting. So for instance, my routine that I would say I can share is when we wake up, we eat breakfast, right? And then after breakfast, now we have to catch them quick because, kids, if you give them too much time, they'll get distracted and then blank. You can't do much with them. So right after breakfast, when they're high on energy, we're doing the heavy lifting stuff. So we're reading or we're doing our letters, depending on the age, right? We're doing our letters, A says blah, blah, blah type of stuff, or we're doing blends, whatever the case may be, right? Or we're reading, okay? And then you want to incorporate now something, let's say artsy. You might want to do shapes, colors, or coloring, right? So they can do art, whether it's painting. And again, it depends on the age range. So my 4-year-old, he already knows the colors. He already knows the shapes. So what I would probably do with him this summer is let him do some coloring because he likes the color, but he has to stay in the lines and those type of things, right? While my 2-year-old, we're going to be doing numbers, identifying the numbers and those type of things. And we have a great book that can kind of guide you that we released. So for instance, when I say identify numbers, we're doing number matching, right? So you're matching your numbers and those type of things to them. Okay, so you can do a little bit of that, but you don't have to do too heavy of stuff, right? We also have another activity here in the book where we're just rolling the dice. And the dice one, and you have them to kind of see, okay, identify where number 1 is, so whatever is on the die, they're just looking to see where is it, right? And this also helps with reading because you can have them go from left to right. Now, I don't know how this camera sets, but I'm always backwards with this. But anyways, you can go from left to right. And so they're reading. They're learning to read from left to right. So they go through, oh, I see 1 on the die, right? Oh, I see 2 and those type of things. So, our books are very hands-on. And we have 2 different books that we use. So at any rate, you have your reading, your writing, or your letters, depending on the age group. So of course, the little ones, you'll try to get them to learn your letters and how to say it and how to pronounce A says, those type of things. And then the older ones, you'll get them to blend or read, okay? And then, of course, we said after reading, blends and those things, you want to do let's say arts, numbers, number identification, arts, and coloring, right? And then lunchtime, you can possibly do shapes. You could do, what else did we say? Oh, shapes, and then addition and subtraction, right? So if you have the older ones would do addition and subtraction. So for instance, my 4-year-old, he knows all his numbers. He knows all these good stuff. So now we're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, those fancy things. And then, of course, this is after nap time. So if you do 2 activities in the morning where they do their letters and then they do their shapes and colors or whatever the case may be, they're going to need a break. We can't, it's not school. It's not real school. We're not doing real school. So they're going to get a little break. You let them do whatever they want to do. And then, of course, you give them lunch. Nap time comes around after lunch. Now, this is my schedule. Like I said, you do your own. So after that, we have nap time. And then, so after we nap, they wake up again on a little bit of a high. So we give them a snack. And then guess what? We're back into it, right? So after this, now, this is not as much as a heavy lifting as we did in the morning. We can do, what did we do? We did what, shapes earlier? Now it varies. So you could do shapes in the morning and then do numbers. You could flip it. So if you did shapes, I think I said numbers before. So if you did numbers in the morning, now you could do shapes, right? And those type of things. And in conjunction, if you did shapes, well, you know, it's really up to you how you do this. You can also do some more artsy stuff, hands-on, math stuff again. And you can mix it up. You can do another language, French, Spanish, whatever you desire. But nothing too heavy. And then after that, you want to put some fun in it. Can't have the day just doing a whole bunch of heavy lifting, right? You can put some fun in it, have some outdoor activities, take them to the park, take them to the pool, right? And then by the time you look, it's dinner time and we're winding down and bam, the day is done. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I love when the day is done. So some activities we do with the older kids. So my other book, we have this where we can do like the balancing game. So we have a scale. They get rocks outside, so like very hands-on things. So this is like something that you can do artsy. No, this is not art. What is this? Math. This is math. So this could be something after lunch, you know, balance it out. Or if these are for the older babies. This is for age 8+, right? So you can have them do like they cut out the rectangles and do the area of the rectangles. And let me tell you, they love it. They don't even know that they're doing math. We also have this game, it's called Make 10, where they roll the die. And then you can actually, you know, here it is. I'll link the books below so you can see if you are interested in purchasing the book. But here they're rolling the die and they're going to have, it's alignment with the MAG standards. So they're going to have to make 10, right? And so you'll say, hey, we threw 6. What plus 6 makes 10, right? And so they roll until they count the dots on the die, right, to make 10, right? And then for the babies, we have lots of other activities that you could do after lunch. Here we have this, I love this one. We introduce fraction to them. This is pre-K through 3rd grade. And it's in Spanish too, yes. So you introduce fraction to them, right? We have this shaded. How many pieces of pizza do we have, right? We have 1 piece, 1 goes to the top, and then you have how many in total? 1, 2, 3, right? And so the books are great. But these are the types of activities that you can do with your kids after lunch to make it fun. So I would say if you're doing activities at home, whether it's counting, whether it's learning your numbers, whatever you're doing, try to make it fun and interactive. Don't just, you know, sit there with them and drill them. You're going to need a lot of patience to deal with your kids. Yes, because they're your kids. And then also you can incorporate what you do around the house, right? Like for us, when the kids are going up the stairs, when they were learning to count, we go, let's count the steps. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go 20 or whatever the case may be, right? And give yourself grace. Having kids at home, you're going to need grace. You're going to need grace, and you're going to need a lot of patience, but it will be worth it. Like I said, my kids are ahead. And that's because I put that extra time in. And so it's totally up to you. Again, you don't even have to be this rigorous. I gave you maybe 5 different things you can do with them. You can do 2. You can just do 1 thing in the morning and 1 thing in the afternoon, or you can just do 1 thing, period. Anything you decide to do over this summer is going to help your child to get ahead or set a foundation for them when they start whatever they're starting, whether it's pre-K, K, or whatever it is. It's going to help them be ready because you're introducing them to these different concepts and those type of things ahead of time.